keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Welcome to CineFact, and today we're counting down our picks for the films that achieved surprising success either at the box office with critics or both. Stick with us until the end of this video. Number 15. Black Panther. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has featured many surprising successes. Black Panther is arguably the most successful of them all. Black-led superhero films had largely been misses with critics and at the box office, at least since Blade. Yet, Black Panther delivered on all fronts. The film, about the struggle for Wakanda's throne, features a breathtaking Afro-futuristic setting, a compelling villain, and one of Marvel's best supporting cast. It also addresses real issues such as colonialism, the African diaspora, and inequality. Not only that, but it became one of the highest-grossing movies of all time and secured the first Best Picture Oscar nomination for a superhero movie. Number 14. Triple R. Although films from India have seen some success around the world, few of them have approached this kind of global mega-hit status. Imagining the lives of two Indian revolutionaries and turning them into an epic buddy action movie may sound niche in concept, but in reality, it turned out to have universal appeal. The action is gloriously over the top, the musical and dance sequences are incredibly catchy and memorable, and Ram and Beam's romance is one for the ages. It's little wonder why Triple R struck a chord with so many people. Number 13. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Given that it's a sequel to a Shrek spin-off that pretty much no one was asking for, expectations were low going into this movie. However, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish blew us all away. The animation is gorgeous and dripping with style. There are multiple incredible villains and it's heartwarming and laugh-out-loud hilarious. Far from being just a movie for kids, The Last Wish tackles adult themes like panic attacks and the inevitability of death. It's one of the best animated films of the last decade, and our greatest wish is for a sequel yesterday. Number 12. John Wick. At the time of this film's release, star Keanu Reeves had been in a bit of career slump. Additionally, the directors of John Wick were inexperienced with directing a feature film. However, this simple yet satisfying action flick surpassed all of the industry's assumptions about it. The titular ex-assassin's quest for revenge seems deceptively straightforward, though the movie hints at a complex shadow world of killers beneath its surface. Meanwhile, the action perfectly toes the line between stylization and grounded choreography. John Wick not only helped revive Keanu Reeves' career, it also launched an incredibly successful franchise and raised the bar for action movies going forward. Number 11. Guardians of the Galaxy. We can see how this movie might have been a tough sell to the folks of Marvel. A space opera action comedy about characters most Marvel fans have never heard of probably didn't seem like an obvious choice for the MCU. Regardless, it's not greenlit, and we're eternally glad it did. Audiences loved seeing this gang of space misfits reluctantly come together to be our heroes. The characters are all instantly memorable and play off each other wonderfully. The soundtrack is iconic, and the action and effects are still some of Marvel's most impressive. Fans loved it so much that Guardians outgrossed many more well-known superhero properties. Number 10. Saw. The Saw franchise is one of the most successful of all time, but it has a very humble origin. It began as a low-budget short film so that writers James Wan and Leigh Whannell could receive funding. That funding was only around $1.2 million, and the production only lasted 18 days. Directed by Wan and co-starring Whannell, Saw was a monster hit at Sundance and TIFF. In theaters, it pulled in $13 million, making it one of the most profitable horror movies of all time. It ushered in a new horror trend that Hollywood would be obsessed with throughout the 2000s, itself receiving several sequels. More importantly, it jump-started Wan and Wanel's career as modern horror icons. Number 9. Casino Royale. There were plenty of good reasons to not be excited about a new Bond in the mid-2000s. A big part of the fandom insisted that Daniel Craig wouldn't work simply because he's blonde, which sounds ridiculous in retrospect. A more understandable reason was that the franchise formula had gotten stale, especially after 2002's schlocky CGI Heavy Die Another Day. Casino Royale took the character back to its roots literally by showing him earn his 000 license. The grittier take from GoldenEye, director Martin Campbell and Craig's grounded, brutal portrayal breathed life into the tired series. Thrilling stunts and a fantastic villain also helped make it a franchise high. Number 8. Get Out. It's not unheard of for a comedic actor to transition to something serious, but Jordan Peele's movie to horror behind the camera no less surprised everyone. Known mostly for his work on sketch comedy shows like Mad TV and Key and Peele, Peele's directorial debut came out of nowhere. Trailers for Get Out couldn't give too much away, but that meant no one knew what to expect from it. It ended up being an incredibly clever and chilling tale about institutional racism, as well as one of the most important horror movies in recent memory. On a budget of $4.5 million, it brought in $272 million worldwide. It also earned 4 Oscar nominations, with 1 win for Peele's screenplay, which is incredibly rare for the genre. Number 7. The Lego Movie. At first glance, or maybe even the second and third, the Lego Movie seemed like a cash grab feature meant only to sell more of the iconic bricks to kids. Following an ordinary construction worker prophesied to be special, the movie told an interesting story about conformity. It featured incredible voiceover work from the likes of Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Will Ferrell, Liam Neeson, and Will Arnett as the scene-stealing Batman. The animation was surprisingly fantastic, and the jokes were often hilarious. Its worldwide pull of $468 million on a $60 million budget led to a sequel and 2 spin-offs. Not too shabby for a tie-in movie about toys. Number 6. How to Train Your Dragon. This adaptation of Cressida Cowell's book has turned into one of DreamWorks' most successful franchise, though you wouldn't have guessed it back in 2010. Marketing didn't make it look very original or special compared to DreamWorks' other works like Shrek or Madagascar. But the story of the misunderstood creatures and the boy who sought to redeem them was extraordinarily heartwarming. Beautifully animated flight sequences made great use of 3D, and although it had a hefty budget of $165 million, it brought in close to $500 million worldwide. 2 Oscar nominations, 2 sequels, and numerous TV spin-offs later, How to Train Your Dragon stand as the gold standard for the studio's animation capabilities. Number 5. Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. While the franchise has definitely fallen from grace, the first entry was a stellar adventure movie. However, it was Disney's first family-friendly PG-13 film, and it didn't exactly draw positive word of mouth for being based on a theme park ride. However, the PG-13 rating ended up being entirely necessary. The explosive action and spooky effects for the Black Pearl Curse crew made it thrilling and captivating. It also earned Johnny Depp his first Oscar nomination and led to him, as well as pirates in general, finding massive mainstream success. On a budget of $140 million, it brought in over $650 million worldwide. Number 4. Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan is one of the biggest directors working today. but at the time he signed on to The Batman Begins, he was yet unproven with big-budget productions. Not only that, but the Caped Crusader's reputation had taken a hit thanks to 1997's overly cheesy Batman and Robin, and many fans were probably fine leaving him on the page or in animation. Nolan's more realistic interpretation turned out to be just what the character needed. Darker visuals and more insight into Bruce's training gave a better understanding of the hero who strikes fear into the thugs of Gotham. And it gave us what many consider one of the best trilogies of all time. Number 3. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's no secret that Sony's handling of Spider-Man has let down fans on several occasions. With low reviews for Venom released a few months prior, the fact that this was animated instead of live action and that it was anything but a traditional Spider-Man story were all signals to not get our hopes up. However, Spider-Verse blew all expectation out of the water. The revolutionary animation was unlike anything we'd ever seen and made it feel like we were catching a comic book. Miles Morales' journey to discover that anyone can wear the mask was at times heartwarming and at others downright tragic. It surprisingly beat Disney and Pixar for the Best Animated Feature Oscar. Number 2. Iron Man. Despite the MCU now being the biggest film franchise in existence, it began on the backs of an actor and character who weren't exactly popular. Iron Man was far from a Marvel A-lister at the time, and Robert Downey Jr.'s career was only beginning to reform after drug arrest in the early 2000s. With Marvel movies dropping in quality in the mid-2000s, with the likes of Fantastic Four and Spider-Man 3, the newly formed Marvel Studios needed to reassure moviegoers. Although picking the director of Elf was a strange choice, Jon Favreau proved himself a capable action filmmaker. Iron Man earned $585 million worldwide on a $140 million budget. More importantly, it ushered in a new and exciting era of superhero films. Number 1. Mad Max Fury Road. People may have been surprised to see George Miller return to this post-apocalyptic franchise 30 years after the last entry, and multiple problems behind the scenes surely didn't help the morale of cast and crew members. However, what was achieved is now considered one of the best action films of all time. A simple plot and high-octane thrills meant any general moviegoer could be entertained. The film was praised for Charlize Theron's intense performance, and the use of practical effects and real modified death cars bolstered the film's extreme chase sequences. While it didn't necessarily wow at the box office, it did win 6 Oscars out of 10 nominations, an unheard-of feat for action movies. Which movies surpassed your expectations? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from CineFact and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. And see you next time!